Hey guys, we're going to do a reading, and I'm gonna take on an important issue that is going on. Now, if you are on, hopefully subscribe to my reads, guys. I take on topics, all kinds of stuff. Obviously I've got some Johnny Depp. Some of you guys are following me because of that. You like my read. By the way, thank you for the feedback, support. You guys are so kind. And as far as your feedback that you've been giving me on my reads, I really appreciate you. I really do. I have sometimes people have even gone to like my business page and given me feedback, and just it's really good. But I'm a very old school reader, and I think you guys know that because it just the way I explain. I do have even other tarot readers that follow me. And see, that's the thing. You can't fool other tarot readers. If you don't know how to read tarot, they will freaking know. Okay? They will know if you know you're a tarot or not. Okay, they're real good about that and stuff. But I've had a lot of good feedback from you guys, and I hope you're enjoying this and my reads and stuff. But one of the things, I do like to take on, things that are going on in the collective and everything. And that's why, like, if you look at my channel, I have done things where I've done forecasts and little bits, of reads. I've got, I should get back to my weekly tarot. But my real thing that I'm concerned about is especially current events. I do also missing persons, so if there's ever that, I will do a read on it. I've done many of them. But really things that are going on in the collective that make an impact. I definitely do current events, political. I do a whole lot of things, but and as far as like say taking on the Johnny Depp, because that impacts the collective. And that's really what I'm looking at. Not necessarily the sensationalism, but how it's impacting us as far as men and women and domestic violence and how we treat men and how we treat women and all those kinds of things. And I'm a truth seeker. Okay, I'm a truth seeker, and I like to use tarot to cut through the bullshit. Okay, and that's another thing I really like about it. A whole lot of things and stuff, but I'm very passionate about it. I really believe that tarot, especially when connecting to the divine, can give you answers that sometimes that obviously media is hard to trust, obvious things, but it's kind of funny how I can trust my deck more than I can what I see on TV. That's freaking sad, but it's true. But it's true. Okay, so just give it a thing, and I've had a pretty interesting week. I've had a good week. I did just kind of one of the things that happened to me this week. I had a member came into my group. It was a missing person situation. Their grandson had been missing. I was able to, the one good thing about it, I know locating them is so incredibly hard. I really try to use my ability, any kind of clues I can get. Now, I've always said, in any kind of missing person, just so you know what I feel, is that psychics are not necessarily meant to necessarily solve cases. I feel spirit wants the detectives, the law enforcement, that's their job. Okay, but we may be able to give some hints and clues. Now, we can't always necessarily point exactly everything, but maybe we could give some kind of sign of life or hope that they're still in the physical, that they will return certain things. I've been able to do that. So there are times families have come to me, found me my group, this, that, and maybe I could at least reassure that they will return. If in those cases I can, of course. And, that was, I did have a connection this week, and I definitely felt this person would, if they were going to return this, that, and everything. And luckily, good news, they did. So that made me feel real good. I did have a good experience with that this week. I definitely felt them still in the physical. They were just kind of, wandering about. They were going to come home. So that made me feel good and stuff. But I enjoy that. That's, one of the things. So if you ever see me with missing persons, and I have a lot of reasons, also because in the background, in my own family, I have had a terrible crime happen, that is connected to my family, as far as somebody who was murdered. Okay. That, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Maybe I'll do a bigger thing on it one day, but it ended up being televised. It was on America's Most Wanted and things. So it's definitely why I'm also very passionate about missing persons and, things like that. But anyway, so a lot going on. Let's talk about let's talk about what's going on right now. A big concern, huge concern right now is the baby food shortage. Okay. And one of the reasons also I want to keep current events going for guys who, you who follow me, and hopefully other people will come to follow, please subscribe, everything. But to keep you really informed what's going on, I want to kind of, clear the veil, and certain things to be prepared for. Now, if you watch my video, what did I call it? Hold on. Let me go to my channel real quick. Hold on. Let me go to my channel. It's right there. Yeah, tarot reading, food shortages and concerns. I only got a couple hundred views because I know you guys like Johnny Depp. I know. But please watch that video on food shortages. Okay? And there's, what I'm kind of feeling about that. And this is what I'm even doing for myself for certain things that I've been picking up on. I'm also watching I like to watch other YouTubers of real people. Not just what the government is saying, but just like regular old farmers, people, truckers. Okay, they're a good indicator, that I predict about in the next 6 months, food shortages are going to get real tough. So during this time right now, while I know there's inflation, but food prices are not ridiculous. It's not $3 for a can of corn right now, right? Okay, and there's a whole lot of shipping, the Shanghai ports, a lot of things, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world right now that is impacting the Russia-Ukraine is impacting a whole lot of stuff is. Stock up. Okay, even if you don't need green beans, canned goods, soups, stock up on it. Throw it on your order. Get it now. Okay, before prices start to go ridiculous. Because that's what I'm doing. I always have my stuff delivered. It just makes it easier. I live up 3 flights of stairs. Okay, so I love it when Walmart delivers. Okay, and I'll tell you that I'm adding corn, certain box to things, get rice, get staples. Add this every time you go to the store, even if you don't need it. Even if I know you're paying a little something now. Okay, but I'm telling you later in 6 months, I'm feeling that food is going to get ridiculous. Okay, and I don't want you running out of food. It's getting tough and stuff like that. And I know a lot of the Republican. Now this is what's shady. Let me talk about what's shady. Greg Abbott, okay, in Texas, he slowed down all those trucks going into Mexico. And what his thing, and I know the reason why he's doing it, making, we got to inspect every little thing, slowing stuff down, okay, is because he wants the inflation to get real bad, and like the products and everything not coming in to make Biden look bad so people will vote Republican. That man is sneaky. Okay, and apparently there's some new news that New Mexico and Mexico are going to take those truckers and bring in the goods and stuff. So this is actually costing Texas billions of dollars, okay, in revenue and things like that. But they're going to start shifting to New Mexico. But his whole agenda is to make Biden look bad because of inflation, which already, yes, people are pointing the finger at Biden. But it's not totally Biden. There's a whole lot of other factors, guys, okay? It's not totally. But I'll tell you, voting for Trump later is what they want, and it's going to be bad, okay? And I'm going to read on that, too, when we get closer to those things. So 2022, voting blue is important and stuff. Obviously, women's rights are on the line. I got my Hex the Patriarchy shirt on and everything. I'm ready, and stuff. But let's talk about, let me focus. There's a whole lot I could talk about on that. But there's a lot of shady shit going on right now, guys. And it sucks because it's impacting you. It's impacting me. It's impacting the American people. It's messing with their mind. It's messing with their pocketbook. And it's messing with their food. But now it's messing with their babies. Okay? Because there's a baby formula shortage like no other. I have never seen this in all my life. Being alive in this country like this, to this magnitude. It is a shortage of 43%. Now, let me pull up, I had an article, hold on. And this is, like I said, I want to keep you informed, prepared of things to come. Okay, so hold on one sec. Baby food shortage. or I should say baby formula shortage, okay? There's a baby formula shortage, and it's real bad, and everybody's talking about it, okay? And so, yeah, this looks like, so I know a lot of people want to know what's causing it. And like I said, I know they're going to all go Biden's fault, Biden's fault. Come on, man. Be real. There's a lot going on. By now, you've heard some 40% of the nation's baby formula is out of stock, causing new mothers to hunt from store to store to feed their infants. This should never happen in America. How did it? Okay, now Abbott Laboratories, and I was reading in that in February, recalled several brands and shut down a plant for Michigan after complaints that 4 infants fell severely ill with a dangerous bacteria. Okay, so that was a big thing. And then, yeah, and then you cut off the story. Damn it. Hold on. How do I get to the rest of the story? Oh, I got to join now. Hell with that. Okay, that's Wall Street Journal. They're being stupid. Okay, let's try another one. Yes, but Abbott, there was a big, recall and that affected. Okay, so that's a big thing. And the out-of-stock rate presented the amount of formula that's not in stock compared to what's typically available. Yep, there it is. 43% for the week ending in May 8th. It's down that much. And no easy end in sight. Caregivers nationwide have been forced to devote their free time driving. So mothers are going to store trying to find formula. And obviously people have had to limit it. Or trying to go online and everything like that. It is, how did a baby formula crisis spring up in one of the world's richest countries? Experts say a recall. Okay, there's the recall. That was a big one with Abbott. Okay, I think there's only 4 companies that really handle all the formula in the country. Okay, so that was a big thing, and Abbott Laboratories messed up a lot of this. Okay, they cover a lot. And so, and now Abbott is now waiting for approval to reopen. We understand the situation is urgent. Getting Sturgis up and running will help alleviate the shortage. Okay, that's a big thing. The FDA, however, found more problems with the facility, okay, that extended beyond the possibility of previous contamination. Following its own inspection, which occurred from January 31st to March 18, the FDA said that it observed, oh God, I can't even pronounce that word, something in medium and high care areas of powder infant formula production, a problem regardless of whether or not it was the same strain that caused the specific infant deaths. So there's, so we got this unsafe situation, with our baby formula, which is terrible. And a monopoly on the market. The baby formula market exists as a shared monopoly with only, that's what I was saying, a few manufacturers controlling nearly all the supply. Okay, that's a big thing. It's not like there's 100 formula companies. Okay, there's only like 4 of them. Okay, so this is a big thing. Okay, just think of that. There's only like maybe 4, companies doing all the formula. With only a few key players whose capacities are tied to a shrinking market, repercussions are inevitable when anything gets in the way of certain product getting on store shelves. Other manufacturers are bound to struggle with an influx of new demand for consumers who can't get what they typically buy. Yeah. Because Abbott is one of the biggest players in the game already, significantly expanding its share is not really an option. Okay, here we go. Is the FDA responsible for the shortage? Abbott is not the only entity possibly at fault. There's plenty of blame to go around here, says Scott Faber, a professor at Georgetown University's Law Center and vice president of governmental affairs at Environmental Working Group nonprofit. Okay, yeah. Okay, Faber sees FDA itself as part. Yeah, I would agree with that. The agency, he says, did not react fast enough, he says, to the whistleblower report and should have conducted a plant inspection sooner. So, yeah, and that's what I was feeling, that they're partly at fault here, okay? When a drunk driver causes a car crash, the drunk driver bears much of the blame, but so does the bartender who looked at the other way while serving one too many drinks. Okay, yeah, well, I get that. Okay, so it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot going on. So here's the future formula, and we're going to read on that, okay? This week, the White House held a press conference to address the shortage and how it plans to get formula restocked as quickly as possible. Those steps include first cutting red tape to get more infant formula to the shelves by urging states to provide flexibility in the WIC program, which can be a key driver of some supply disruptions. Okay, yep, that's a big thing. The U.S. normally produces 98% of the infant formula it consumes, so we do, so trading partners in Mexico, Chile, Ireland, and Netherlands are a key source. So try to get some imports, okay? However, there's no timeline yet for when the formula imports will arrive in the U.S. and be distributed. They need to hurry up on that. This is ridiculous, okay? When pressed about how long the shortage will last, the officials say there is no estimate for when Abbott's facility will resume functioning. I see continued shortages, says Penfield, about the coming weeks. I think there's a lot of pressure on Abbott to get the plant up and running, and until they do, you're going to see these continued shortages. Not very hopeful, guys. It's not very hopeful. There's a whole lot of drama, whole lot of government. We need to bring in imports, even if you got to pay more for the formula, it's better than nothing. Now, this frustrates me because now we're dealing with possibly Roe versus Wade. Well, I'm not going to say possibly. It's going to be overturned. Okay, I've already done a reading on it. They're going to overturn it. It's going to be a disaster. Okay, but just like I said, it's a battle. It doesn't mean they won the war. I was saying that on TikTok and stuff. It doesn't mean they won the war. Okay, so just so you know, remember that. Okay, but one of the things is they're talking about doing all this, and we are struggling. Women are struggling to feed these babies. Okay, it's just not a simple thing. Oh, God's will, this, that. Okay, if it's all God, it's God's will, the baby food shortages, and not all mothers can breastfeed. Okay, not all. Some babies don't latch. Okay, some women don't have a milk supply. There's all kinds of things that happen. I did breastfeed both my kids. Lucky, able to do that, and then switch them to formula. Of course, there was no shortage. Everything was a good, smooth transition. I'm very blessed. But not all women. There's sometimes there's just something that the baby can't latch. Okay, or the supply is not there, and it's a problem. It's a problem. And now there's other things about women are showing like real old homemade things that grandmas and great grandmas did, and they're posting those different recipes, formulas. You may have to do that. And I know some people are like, oh, don't feed them this. It's better than nothing. Okay, so you may want to go, if your grandma or great grandma has an old recipe for formula, you may want to check it out. Okay, because if you have no access to formula, that may be what you have to do. Okay, with various recipes, which I know is concentrated milk, a little corn syrup, a little, those kind of things. You may have to do that. Okay, which I know sucks, but it's better than nothing. Okay, this is a crisis. So let's go ahead and get to the read. So I just wanted to kind of prep you guys, let you know what's going on. Some of the news, it's not looking very good. And everybody's, what frustrates me is people are pointing the finger. It's this person's fault. It's that who cares? Stop pointing fingers and do something is what I feel. It is what a lot of people are saying, especially mothers who need to feed these babies. What can we look forward to? So I'm going to read, and I just dropped something. Hold on. I always do this. I'm going to read up to the next year because I feel this could go into the next 12 months. What are we looking at as far as this baby shortage, baby food shortage, baby formula? And it's a tough one. It's a tough one, guys. And then we've got this situation with, they're talking about overturning Roe, and let's just make all these babies that we can't feed. Always frustrating. It's frustrating, Let's see what's going on. We're going to use the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. It's a good social deck. This is the one Spirit wants me to use. I know this is a big concern among the mothers. And I know it kind of feel, some of you are wondering, is there a plot? Is there this, that? God only knows what's going on. Okay, we're going to look at stuff. There's so much drama going on in the collective. But yeah, some of you may have to, if you are mothers going through this right now, that your baby is formula fed, you may have to go to old-fashioned recipes and stuff. And a lot of those people survived, okay? It's very frustrating. We're the richest country in the world, and this is happening. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Let's cut it right there. Oh, God, we got the devil. Yeah, no surprise there. We got the devil card popping up. You know, and really a lot of that, you know, when I think about that, you know, various things, government, you know, the dirtiness, the corporate greed, and everything going on, you know, all the negative, you know, is really kind of involved in this whole drama and stuff like that. Definitely we could see that. You know, and this is very concerning. Now, we've got the Eight of Cups that is popping up in here, which can be about, you know, like, you know, it is that message, kind of cut losses, walk away, things like that. I kind of feel that when I kind of look at this card, you know, just kind of that kind of despair and everything, and then I feel there's a lot of people right now, okay, with what's going on, that are even considering leaving this country. Okay, that with everything going on, I know everybody always talks about how great America is. A lot of people, I feel, are just fed up. You know, that they are thinking about getting out of this country. Just, oh my God, it's just going, and who knows, maybe it's a good idea. You know, but it's getting so bad, okay, with everything that's going on. There's a lot of people even thinking about just leaving at this point. You know, it's just so much going on. So we've got the Ace of Swords that is popping up in here. That could be about news, communication, and things like that. But I feel like one of the things about that is that, you know, really keeping us informed about the truth and what's going on is really a big thing. There we go. We've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles is kind of like giving to the beggars. Now, this is a very fitting card. Okay, look at all the beggars surrounded and everything. And a lot of people are just begging for formula at this point. They're struggling, they're, you know, and stuff. Even people that are middle class, upper class are begging for it and everything. And there's, you know, only so much to give at this point. Only so much to give. But this is putting on a strain. Okay, so that is very powerful. Let's go ahead and see. Guys, see what, you know, but they need to keep us informed in the loop and everything like that and stuff. And then we've got the Page of Coins that is popping up in here, you know, which is, you know, really about, you know, people are willing, you know, to pay, you know, they'll pay more if they have to, you know, which I also kind of wonder if they're trying to set up an expectation to really milk, you know, the term, you know, milk people for all they're worth with this formula. Is there something more sinister, hence the devil card, okay, to get people to maybe be willing even to pay way more for formula than they have to? By making this a precious commodity, there's something sinister going on here, guys. I'm just being real with you with the devil, and also this Page of Coins popping up in here. You know, just kind of look, see how it's got the coins in the hand. Okay, you know, getting people willing to pay way overpriced for formula because of what's going on. Okay, there's something weird here with this. Okay, that people will even accept that. And let's go ahead and see here. Okay, and notice the Four of Cups. Now remember, I'm going to play with the art. You know, I know that person is handing a bottle of water and so forth. Now, just kind of look at that. That's kind of ironic as we're talking about baby formula and all the, you know, the empty cups and everything that are kind of sitting there and stuff. And, you know, certain things, you know, I feel like people are kind of feeling the government, you know, trying to make us feel, oh, no, we'll get you this. We'll get you that bottle of the formula. Everything will be okay. And people, just like the look on his face, no, it's not okay. Okay, you know that this just okay. Well, here you could get this little bit of formula here there, but each day is a struggle to get formula in the house. You know that one little thing here or there is not going to do it and stuff. So let's go ahead and look at that. And then we've got the Page of Swords in here, which really is more about news communication. Now, I want you to kind of look at that in the art. See how they're using kind of a magnifying glass. I feel what Spirit is telling you guys that are watching is really pay attention to the details of what is going on and stuff. You know, pay attention. But another thing, there is another symbol in this card with the art. Notice she is looking at, with that magnifying glass, a snail. What is a snail? Okay, they're very slow. They're very slow, right? Which sadly makes me feel this is not a problem that we're gonna get out of overnight. This is gonna be a slow process before the formula situation improves. Okay, so unfortunately, this is gonna be a pretty good duration of a problem that we're looking at. But it does definitely make me feel, you know, with that Devil card being the very first card, that there are certain things, players kind of pulling the strings here, you know, with this, okay? There's something deeper going on there. I'm just being real with you. And we've got the Ace of Coins. Now, look at that. What are things, a big thing, the labor market. Now, what has been people talking about? Let me pull up for this one. Okay, look at that. Labor, right? Okay, one of the things in the new released draft, you know, is these people want a domestic supply of infants for the workforce that they are referring, because that the birth rate, which the Ace of Coins can also be about birth, a symbol of birth. Ace of Pentacles can be a symbol of birth. Okay, that they're concerned about their domestic supply. Okay, that they want to bring in more births, more babies, more this, that, because of the future. Who's going to do the work? Who's going to make them money? Okay, so this is really what all they're concerned about. Now, I actually feel, you know, that with this shortage of formula, you know, that is going on, you know, which is not helping their cause, right? Okay, and everything that this is definitely some kind of weird wake-up call that a lot of people are probably going to observe, that like, oh yeah, you know, they want to make all these babies, you know, create this domestic supply. Okay, so they have a workforce and everything, and fill this country up with babies, but we can't even feed them. You know, there's an irony there. There's an irony there. Okay, so let me go back to, okay. Which way do I want to go? We'll get it there. Okay. All right, so it's just crazy. So let's go ahead and see. But yeah, that's, you know, the craziness, what's going on. So we've got the Two of Cups that is popping up in here and so forth. There's a whole lot going on, the big thing here. But with the Two of Cups, you know, even like connections, relationships, and everything, people, it's putting a strain on everybody, you know, going on with feeding these babies and everything. So let's go ahead and look and see. Oh, we got the Emperor. The Emperor going on here. So the Emperor card for me especially can be about, you know, control and government and things like that. And, you know, just kind of see how he's putting out his hand. It's like, can I trust the government and everything? You know, I kind of worry about it right now. I definitely worry about it. But let's go ahead and see. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is definitely the depression. A lot of people really, you know, the future looking bleak. They're really worried about it. They're stressed. They're expecting the worst at this point, okay? You know, and then looking at the baby food. But without of that, you know, the Page of Cups really can represent either male or female children and so forth, you know, is such a big issue right now. You know, that families just want, you know, they don't care about this government crap. They just want to take care of their kids. But the Five of Swords, the battle and everything, everybody fighting over this. You know, you could have your battle, you know, whether it's red, blue, people fighting and all that stuff. Nobody cares about that. They're just like, I just want to feed my kids and stuff like that. That's all they want to do. and stuff. And then in the hopes and fears, the King of Cups can be my Biden card because he is Scorpio. Is, he's definitely fearful about what's going on. This is not making him look good and everything, as far as going to term. What is the outcome card that we got? Judgment. The Judgment card coming on. There's a lot of judgment on who is to blame with this and everything. It's a big thing, that is happening. So a few things. What can we assess from this? It's so much craziness. The snail is a real big revealer. I know, it's just, even out of all those cards, I do. The snail is there, with the magnifying glass, this image, that this is going to be a slow process before everything gets, up to par with the baby formula. Okay. And I feel like what, the little bit, what, they're trying to offer, the little bit is just not enough. That's what I kind of feel, that maybe, you get a little bit of formula here, this, that. It's just not enough. We need a regular ongoing supply, to be able to feed the children and everything. And I know the government, just like the Emperor card, trust me, we've got it under control. No, they don't, and stuff. And people know that with the Nine of Swords sitting next to it, they're very depressed and stuff. But I actually feel with that, the opposing card, the Eight of Cups, I actually feel there could possibly, over the next year or two, possibly be some kind of exodus of a lot of people just leaving this country. That they're frustrated, they're upset with this. I feel there could be potentially quite a few people leaving the country, which is kind of an interesting thing that is coming up in the reading. And that people are just fed up. They're frustrated. I feel a lot of people are wanting to get out. We've got Roe versus Wade about to be overturned, women's rights and everything, and where one of the big things, one of the pluses used to be being in this country is to have this freedom, liberty, freedom of speech, this, that, control over our bodies, that women could get out there and work, this, that all that, with all this being pulled back, okay, that I feel there could potentially be an exodus of people that just start leaving. Okay, that, and the baby formula thing is even a big thing right now. And everything, with people, that, oh my God, I can't even feed my baby in this country. This is supposed to be the richest country in the world. I feel like people are kind of tired of being played with, up to the point they're playing with our food and now our formula and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and look at Lenormand. Lenormand's always really good. I got the coffin. The coffin is really hard because we could have certain situations where there could be deaths involved, unfortunately, with babies, especially women who are struggling and in poverty who can't afford to feed the kids we have right now in this country. And then they want to birth more kids. Okay, they want women, even children, even teenagers, even incest, things like that, birthing babies. Okay, but the coffin card is popping up. We may see some deaths here. Okay, matter of fact, it's probably inevitable, and I hate to say that. Okay, and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and look. But the star is there. The star is hope. That it will inevitably get out of it. Okay, this is not a forever thing, but this is definitely a very critical thing right now that they need to do something and stuff. And let's go ahead and look. Yeah, and see that Fox card comes up, which makes me feel there's some untrustworthy stuff that is popping up with this. Messing with the system. Okay, that Devil card is the first card. Okay, and stuff. And this is some really sneaky, underhanded stuff that is going on. And everything. Now, I do have the Tree card that is popping up. That is a card which can have to do with health, but it sits next to the Fox, which is very concerning. So this is kind of my assessment here. And I know it's a hard one, guys. I know it's a hard one, but actually, let me look at Kipper too. But I want to try to be real and get you guys the information. I feel some things may start kind of being battled in court. This is definitely going to be, the White House. addressing it more and more. This is going to get bigger and bigger. I feel this is kind of like, say when you have like a rolling stone, and the stone just gets bigger, bigger, bigger. This formula thing is going to get bigger and bigger and huger to the point of a crisis where people are just, wow, flipping out and stuff. I've also got the courthouse card. This is a big thing with, the Supreme Court, Roe versus Wade, and all this stuff. People seeing that, oh my God, we can't even feed our kids, and you want us birthing kids. There is a clash here that is about to happen. Could potentially be that revolution and so forth. But this is a pathway where we can make changes. Okay, hopefully positive changes and so forth. But, oh, yeah, see, that's the thing. Poverty. Women in poverty are the most affected. Women and children in poverty are the most impacted. And that is what I fear for them, especially with that coffin, okay, that is coming up in here, okay, with the Lenormand. So the women of poverty are especially impacted, because there are women that, like, for instance, some women who have maybe a little bit more money, or maybe they don't even have a whole lot. Maybe they're just straight middle class, but they got enough that they can put some fuel in the car and cross over to Canada. Maybe they don't live far away. There are those, Canada does not have a shortage. Okay, so there are people going into Canada to buy formula for their kids, but not everybody has the ability or the capacity to do that. So I do feel some shady things afoot with this. That there are people, there's some messing around here that is going on, unfortunately, that is impacting. No easy solution on this, but I really feel God, and I hate to say it, the only solution right now that women can do with this shortage, if they just absolutely can't buy formula, is maybe some of these old school, what grandma and great-grandma and great-grandmama used to do, is some of these old school recipes to feed babies, because it's bad and it's going to get worse. Okay, and unfortunately there are babies that are not going to make it because the formula shortage is so bad. And they can't have cow's milk. It can make them even worse. You can't just give them juice and stuff like that. You just can't. They need formula or some kind of milk, survive. So if anybody is being impacted right now, if you find yourself in a position of you just have no access, there's all kind of old school, I hate to say it, but old school formula methods that may be the only thing to make it and stuff. But this looks like I said, with the snail, it's going to be a very slow process before this gets out. So I hate to give the bad news on that and everything, but I really do feel, though, this may be the straw that breaks the camel's back on a lot of families right now. That there are families that, because of even this issue alone, that's coming up, I feel a lot of people are getting fed up, and we may potentially see an exodus of people leaving this country over the next year or two. All right, so let's kind of keep an eye on everything that's going on.